Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
Can you guess where we are?
You can put it in the thing below.
We can tell you if you want.
No, we're not going to tell anyone. They can guess. That's part of the game. If you tell them, they don't guess, then they don't interact. You have to drive activity and interaction.
Okay, so just put it in the comments and I'll check it, because I'm the only one that checks the comments.
That's right, and see how good I drive for interaction.
Drive me crazy.
Okay, here we are again, reading the Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Wherever we are, that really is obsolete in one sense, because wherever we are, we're reading from the Bhagavatam. So,
Canto 4, chapter 13, is it? Because I ain't got my book. Chapter 13, text 38.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 38. Although the queen had no son, after eating that food which had the power to produce a male child, she became pregnant by her husband, and in due course of time she gave birth to a son. Purport. Among the 10 kinds of purificatory processes, one is savanam, in which the wife is offered some prasad or remnants of foodstuff offered to Lord Vishnu, so that after sexual intercourse with her husband she may conceive a child. Interesting. Can you imagine if people knew how to do this in this day and age? How much you'd be like a multi-billionaire if you could actually, if you knew the recipe for this food, which here you can have a male child. Not to get controversial, but
well, here it just says a child. Doesn't say
no, it
male
says
child.
male.
Yeah, after eating that food. Yeah, okay. But down here in the purport.
No, but I hope I don't elaborate, because we're supposed to read the verse. But anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted, I forgot what I was saying, because I was.
You were saying you'd be a billionaire if you could give people a male child.
No, multi-billionaire, because and I was gonna say, I'm not gonna get controversial, so I won't say countries, but there are countries where you would make mint if you could guarantee that there would be boys in the family. I assure you of that. So guaranteed. So yeah, interesting that there is such a thing out there.
Well, it's a Vedic thing. It's a Vedic ceremony, and I do samskaras, and one of them is, it says here Pumsavanam, but I'm not sure that's, I think it's Pumshravanam. I was just going to quickly look it up, but whatever it is, it's the rites for making a male child. So generally I don't do it, because if you do it and then people have a girl, then you're in trouble, and but yeah. But what?
Yeah, want your money back.
Want your money back, yeah.
But he did do a ceremony, because there was a couple that was childless, and then they went to have like 3 kids, didn't they?
They went on to have 3 children, yes. That I have managed that a few times, actually. So, but anyway, that's not the topic.
Daniels.
Who's Paul Daniels? Okay, we're reading Bhagavatam.
In the comments, I know Sally and Dawn Webb definitely know Paul Daniels.
Sabala eva purusho mahatmaham manamvrita. Okay, that boy was born partially in the dynasty of irreligion. His grandfather was death personified, and the boy grew up as his follower. He became a greatly irreligious person. So I'm just wondering, he was born partially in, I guess this would get explained. Oh yeah, here it goes. In the purport, Prabhupada's explaining. The child's mother, Shunita, was the daughter of death personified. Well, that's great. Huh? This is your bride, the daughter of death personified. Generally, the daughter receives the qualifications of her father, and the son acquires those of the mother. Now that is true, isn't it?
Yeah.
So according to the axiomatic truth that things equal to the same thing are equal to one another, the child born of King Anga became the follower of his maternal grandfather. According to Smriti Shastra, a child generally follows the principles of his maternal uncle's house. Interesting. A child generally follows the principles of his mother's uncle's house. Okay. Naranam Matula Karma means that a child generally follows the qualities of his maternal family. If the maternal family is very corrupt or sinful, the child, even though born of a good father, becomes a victim of the maternal family. According to the Vedic civilization, therefore, before the marriage takes place, an account is taken of both the boys' and girls' families. If, according to astrological calculation, the combination is perfect, then marriage takes place. Sometimes, however, there is a mistake, and family life becomes frustrating. Okay, so there's a lot in here to unpack, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to unpack it in a short amount of time, so I encourage you to read it in your own time and try to unpack what you can. I think the last part about astrology is interesting. Prabhupada is making an assertion that basically through astrology, and of course once a very saintly person said that the science of astrology is perfect, but the astrological scientists aren't. So it means that you have to have a person who can read the science and give you the information and the understanding. But in general, if you ask 5 different astrologers on a match, you'll probably get three different answers at least. So like that, the science is there, but having someone who knows the science. But Prabhupada here seems to be asserting that if the match is made properly, then family life can be happy. Well, I guess we have a happy family life, apart from when you drive me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, read your...
All right, next paragraph. It appears that King Anga did not get a very good wife in Sunita because she was the daughter of death personified. Oh, well, I guess that isn't really, it's not very wise to pick your future partner by coming from the family of death personified. You got to pick better, really. Your father-in-law's death personified, dude.
I was always hoping she might have been a nice lady.
Right. Sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotee, so that gradually, due to family circumstances, sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotee, so that gradually, due to family circumstances, the devotee becomes detached from his wife and home and makes progress in devotional life. It appears that by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Anga, although a pious devotee, got an unfortunate wife like Sunita, and later on a bad child like Vena. But the result was that he got complete freedom from the entanglement of family life and left home to go back to Godhead. I don't know why everything has to end in such a frustrated state. I mean, if you want me to go back to Godhead, just take me back to Godhead, for heaven's sakes,
No,
God.
but it's not like that, is it? We're in the material world. Look, why do you think we're here doing a reading, looking at, well, we're not going to say because you're making a guess in the comments, but looking at this, which is like the heart of the material energy. But this is what people live for. Oh, to go there, to be there.
Yeah.
And we met someone the other day here, and when we told them that we were living in London, they said, oh, I'm saving up my money to go to London. I always wanted to be in London. And I remember when we used to walk around in London, I would often say that here we are walking in a place where people save up their whole life to be able to come for a couple of weeks. And we walk around here and read and chant and do whatever we do every single day. So it's like that the material energy, the material world is such a place that It's the perfect prison because nobody wants to escape. So Krishna, excuse me, Krishna has to create the impetus for us to want to get out. Or like Prabhupada says in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, that there's always this little pinprick. You know, it's like when you get a new shirt and you cut the tag off, but you don't get all of that bit off and you're wearing. It's like there's got to be something that niggles at us so much that we want to get out. So therefore, King Vena.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's very important to pick your partners if you can, to pick them properly, because otherwise it will result in miserable family life.
Well, you can pick your partner and you can pick
I
your
think always got to say something. Read the next verse. Lord.
Is it 40?
Yeah, it's 40.
Okay, we're going to
40 years.
with this one.
40 years.
40 years and running. Text number 40, translation. After fixing his bow and arrow, the cruel boy used to go to the forest and unnecessarily kill innocent deer. And as soon as he came, all the people would cry, "Here comes cruel Vena! Here comes cruel Vena!" Purport. Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt in the forest for the purpose of learning the killing art, not to kill animals for eating or for any other purpose. The Kshatriya kings were sometimes expected to cut off the head of a culprit in the state. For this reason, the Kshatriyas were allowed to hunt in the forest. Because this son of King Anga, Vena, was born of a bad mother, he was very cruel. And he used to go to the forest and unnecessarily kill the animals. All the neighboring inhabitants would be frightened by his presence, and they would call, "Here comes Vena, here comes Vena." We left out cruel. Here comes cruel Vena. So from the beginning of his life, he was fearful to the citizens. Yeah. So there you go, and there you have it. That first, Kshatriyas can hunt. Because why can they hunt? Because they're going to have to possibly cut the head off of a culprit in society who's a bad person. It's interesting that the whole idea of Varnashram is so intriguing that it bewilders me why people say Varnashram and then start talking about farms. It's like, God, it's such a small part of Varnashram. Here you have Kshatriyas in a Varnashram society. They're allowed to hunt because they have to be able to fight and protect, and because they might have to inculcate or incorporate corporate punishment in a heavy situation. So that's my thought on it. Do you have any thoughts?
I thought it was funny. I've always found that funny when
What's
I read
funny?
it. Cruel Vena, cruel Vena. It seems like a very innocent time. If that's the harshest thing people say, "Here comes cruel Vena." It sounds funny. Cruel Vena. Cruel Nitai.
Okay, 41. Yeah, we can read a few more. Look,
All right, text 41. The young boy was so cruel that while playing with young boys of his age, he would kill them He would kill them very mercilessly, as if they were animals meant for slaughter. But that's more than cruel, isn't it? It's like psychopath on a jeepers. Text 42. After seeing the cruel and merciless behavior of his son, Vena, King Anga punished him in different ways to reform him, but was unable to bring him to the path of gentleness. He thus became greatly aggrieved. I'd like to know what punishment he did for killing to his son who killed young boys. I mean, anyway, I better not say too much because YouTube will ban me, but I'm not sure what I'd do to my child if they're killing other boys. You naughty child, which I reform you.
Naughty boy.
Text 43. The king thought to himself, Persons who have no son are certainly fortunate. Now, they always say that. Anyway. They must have worshipped the Lord in their previous life so that they would not have to suffer the unbearable unhappiness caused by a bad son. It's so typical, I'm sorry. Anyway.
What is typical? I don't understand.
It's a classic. I don't know who, definitely in the
classic?
culture that I come from, when you get married, older people, I should never have got married, No, you wanted to get married. If you hadn't got married, you would have been crazy about that. Then when you have kids, I wish I didn't have kids. No, you wanted kids. And if you had a marriage without kids, you would have been very upset. I wish I didn't have a son. No, you would have done all the 42 million different yagis you can do to have a child, quite frankly. So it's just very annoying. So typical classic material. Yeah.
Okay, read the purport.
Purport. It is said that a married couple must have a son, otherwise their family life is void. But a son born without good qualities is as good as a blind eye. A blind eye has no use for seeing, but it is simply unbearably painful. The king therefore thought himself very unfortunate to have such a bad son. Now, didn't he want a kid? Remind me.
They went through the whole thing to get the kid.
Yagya, this and that. Gave it to his wife who wasn't qualified.
But he didn't want a bad kid.
Well, that's too bad, isn't it?
Well,
that's too bad. In the material world, it's all bad. You don't have a good husband. You don't have good this. You don't have good that. You're stuck with him.
Well, okay. That's a sedan. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for joining in. It's very noisy here. I'm not sure how much you heard of what we're doing. There's a boat over there.
Yeah, because they got boats driving people.
Helicopters up here, so. But anyway, I definitely was tuned in. It's a nice pastime about King Vena, and yeah.
All
Read
right.
Bhagavatam. Thank you very much. Keep smiling. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.